One and a two and a
Man, we could have totally just vibed for a whole nother rotation.
I know. I was in the back just
Getting it over there. I love it. That's the perfect way to start a brand new live stream right here on Longbox Punk. That's me. I'm Chris. I am the Punk, and I am joined on this special Monday evening edition of Longbox Punk by that guy right there. That's Reece Jenkins. Reece, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'm glad that the times worked out and we were able to get you in while the campaign is still going, man. I'm glad that I know we had a couple of hiccups too, of some life getting in the way, and so here we are, and I'm excited to get into it with you and hang out with you.
awesome, man. Thank you for having me so much, man. This has been in the making. It's been like, what was it, summer? We were supposed to get up to the summer, then schedule and life and all that good crazy stuff that is all happened. But now we're here right now. It's awesome. Let's go.
And not to put any pressure on you, I would never do that intentionally, which is exactly what I'm going to do. But I had some people reach out to me and just sing praises of you as a person, as a creator, and of your comics. So I've got a high bar for you for this episode, my friend. So I mean, listen, the dancing to the theme song before we ever even went live, you've already mashed that bar. Like, if you're willing to dance on camera, even if it's only for me to see in the green room, okay, so good. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, that was for the bloopers reel.
Right.
All the deleted scenes in the background, just see me in the back just jamming, man. That's what I do. I love it.
So before we get into any of the deep conversation and the philosophical questions that we're going to tackle on this episode, I would love to start with your origin story. Like, how did you get into comics? How did you start creating comics? Where did all this start for you?
Well, it all began when I was going to college, and then I got bit by radioactive. Wait, that's not my story. No, seriously. Well, it's funny. I've been able to draw my whole life, so art has always been a part of me. I've been always able to create stuff since I was a little kid, a little seedling, and then when I got older, I had another seedling, and that seedling and me started conversating about what would ever happen in life. And then magically, the pandemic happened, and me and my son came up with these ideas to create characters and give them backstories. And it was just something that we put in fruition because I was living in South Carolina, he was living in New York at the time, and we would just go back and forth. Make up every day. That was our thing to pass the day through. Like we call each other, okay, I got a new character, and this character does this. So I never really actually started putting them into comic books until I met Mark Bernal from Lesson on Comics. And I got the opportunity, kind of like a segue in. I got the opportunity to work with Mark on a cover, and Mark put the idea in my head to, how about you do some comics? I was like, okay, well, you can try. I never thought of that before.
So you were creating stories, you were doing artwork, you had just never thought to put the two together before.
Exactly. Like I was doing a lot of character stuff, for people. People who want characters done. I draw the characters and do fan art, of course. And sat down and Mark gave me the idea to do it, and I sat with my son. I was like, okay, we're gonna make this rock. And 6 months, I think it took us like 6 months to do our first book. Okay. It was like, I'm talking about the coloring, the whole nine. Coloring, write the story, background, drawing all the pages, man. It was
Yeah.
a hard 6 months.
That's a sprint.
Yeah, yeah,
So did he help like co-write all of Deuces or Wild, or was that a completely
yes,
different? Okay.
yes. My son Nathan is a genius. We worked together on creating Charles and the background villains. Like each book, we wanted to have like a theme to it. It's all the same thing, but we wanted to have like this crazy insane thing to it because the guy's a CIA agent. So
Yeah.
all the villains, like we have this big anime following that's awesome on the East Coast. So all my East Coast followers and my West Coast followers, um, like we have this following, and they're really into that. So we want to have that action to it, but we wanted to bring you like a '90s style theme. If a John Woo film was made with X-Men cartoons and with the Wildcats and all that stuff, put all that combined together, and there's Deuces of Wild.
That's awesome. And I will say Brandon is chomping at the bit in the chat right now just to get like a
Oh,
hey,
that's my
how are you?
brother. Hey, Brandon. That's my brother. He's a major supporter of my work.
Dude, it starts with family. It really does. And especially in your case, like co-writing a series with your son, that's such an awesome idea.
Yeah.
To do. Like, were there times that you just kind of sat back? I mean, as we mentioned briefly, but I love being able to celebrate dad wins as much as I can. Like as a dad, were there times that you guys were talking about story and creating that you just kind of sat back and like watched his brain work and like
Yeah.
did he take stuff in a direction that you like hadn't thought of before or anything like that that like caught you off guard?
When it's always very humbling when you can sit back and you think you have the best idea in the world. Someone comes up to you and is like, "No, you can do this better." And you look at him, it's like the sun is literally shining through. It's like, ah, I'm like that's I created you, and now you're creating this. This is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it because like so my daughter just started college and we were at a college event for like incoming freshmen last week. And so she's like, I have told her from the beginning, I will support you every step of the way, but I'm not going to do it for you. Like you have to do whatever it is that you need to do. I will help you figure it out. But like you need to take the first step, you need to make the first call, you need to send that email, whatever, right? And so we were at this event and I was like, where do you want to go? Like, do you want to go talk to the people at the tables? Do you want to try and talk to random kids that are here that are also incoming freshmen? Like what, whatever. I'll hang over here by the tree and let you just go. So I'm not the embarrassing dad because I'm
Mhm.
definitely the embarrassing dad all the time. But I mean, she
That's
knew
our
that.
job.
Yeah, she knew that early on. Like I have never had any social whims of like getting up in front of people or making a fool of myself. If it gets someone to smile or laugh, cool. If it's at the expense of myself, even better. Like because it's easy. I don't want to put somebody else down. But so I just very much was like, where do you want? Like, what do you want to do? And there were times that she was talking to advisors or people at the tables or whatever, just like leading her own life that I don't know why it took until she got into college for me to be like, oh my God, you're like your own person.
It just clicks, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
Yeah. Like you got this. I don't really know why I'm here. Actually, like I'm happy to be here, happy to support, but like you've got this in the bag, kid. What am I doing?
you
She,
don't need me anymore.
yeah. Yeah. And then it's just like, oh, you really don't like you're 18 now.
Exactly. That's me right now. I'm like, you got this.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't need me anymore. What am I doing here?
Yeah. Like, hey, when you need me again, I'll just be over here reading comics and watching pro wrestling. Like, that's, where I am all the time. You know what I'm saying?
If you need me, I'm in the back. Don't even worry.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. But so with Deuces are Wild, and this might be a stretch. I don't know, but I'm gonna make it. Is seeing your comic get received as it has, and like seeing the support and having people come out and back the campaign and like talk about it and all this stuff, like what is that feeling like for you, seeing this series that you made with your son like find its audience?
It's surreal. I think that's the best way to put it. It's crazy because like we're actually seeing people that know the book and know the people behind the book. So when you go out somewhere, you're getting that, like, I wouldn't say just local famous, but you're getting that attention. Like people come up to you like, "Hey, I've read your book." No, you haven't. Tell me the first page. It's one of those type of things, and then people are like, "No, seriously, like I got it. I need you to autograph and all this stuff." And like he takes it in stride because he's a teenager. He's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Like, how are you so calm?
Yeah, you're like just bouncing with energy, and he's just like, cool. Yeah, here you go, kid.
Yeah. Yeah. I do this.
Stay humble, man. That's awesome. So tell me about the story. I know we briefly touched on it, but like, what's the elevator pitch? And the campaign for business purposes is linked in the description below, so it's super easy. It's 2 taps away. You've got 9 days to get in on the campaign. I'm totally going to cheat and look at it. You've got 16 backers so far. You're a bit shy from the goal, but full faith with those 9 days that you're going to hit that for sure. The artwork alone like looks so good, dude. I love the look of this book, and that's what drew me in initially. So now I'm curious, like, what's for someone that doesn't know the story, what's it all about? What's going on in Deuces R Wild?
Ready, set, and go. So this is the elevator pitch, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. You like that, right? So it's about Charles. Charles and his brother are 2 CIA agents, right? And the 2 CIA agents, they go undercover, and unfortunately, something happens to his brother. Charles goes back years later to try to investigate the murder. Comes back and finds out there's a lot more secrets than there are answers. So he goes on this crazy intel journey to find out what happened to his brother. Why did it happen? Who, what, when, why, and where. It's something that you've never seen before. It's an action scene. It's a drama. It's got comedy. It's got everything you want in a book and then more. It's so good that it should be a movie. Netflix, holla at me.
So if you're thinking cinematically, where what's the full story? Do you already have the full thing later? Like, is issue 2 of like 4, 6, whatever? Like, what's the?
So issue 2 is issue 2 of 8. There's 8 chapters to this, and it is like, if you read the first book. Why if I say if you read? Of course you read the first book. Okay, if you don't read the first book, you'll never understand the second book. That's how we literally planned it out like that. That the first book gets you snapped in because it's got so much stuff going on in the first book. This is why I reloaded. You got so much stuff going on in there that you're like, okay, I don't get it. I need to read the second one. And once you read the second one, you're like, oh snap! Now I need to read the third one. And we literally structured it like that. We're like, look, if we're gonna do this, it's going to be this, this, and this, and we're going to build each one of these to where everything fits into it. So you can't read one without reading the other.
That's awesome.
Strategy.
I, as a reader and movie watcher, because I don't like saying consumer, I don't like saying it's my content. I don't like those stupid words. But as someone who enjoys reading a lot, and and movies and all the things, I love the Bourne Identity, Supremacy, Ultimatum. Even like I read, I think 11 of the Bourne books that were out until it was, following like 7 different characters, and it was just too much for my brain. And so I was like, okay, well, like, I guess I get to 11. It was good enough for Spinal Tap. It's good enough for me. But like, I just appreciate when there's things that are laid down early on that don't pay off right away. And it feels like with the intentionality in the approach of like having those 8 different chapters, that you're laying some groundwork now that pays off later. Like, how do you determine what to lay down when and when to pay it off?
I leave that to the mindset of my son.
Okay.
He tells me who's gonna die and when they're gonna die and how long they get to live, and like I'll put these ideas together. I'll throw them out there, and he'd be like, "Okay, Dad, we got to do this, this, and this. Why? Because if we don't, it's gonna be corny, and I'm a teenager. We won't read stuff like that. Okay, got you." and 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 we'll go from there, and then we'll sit down, watch some wrestling or watch some TV, and then we'll come up with another idea. Be like, you know what? What if you add this, this, and this here, and then just interlock it with this? And it's so fantastic to have that type of creativity, and then have someone reflect that and be able to bounce ideas off of. You guys can talk shop all day and never get bored. And that's the most amazing thing about this book. You can tell from the first book to the revamp to the second issue how much work really went into it on building this story. It's an epic story. I can't wait till everybody reads it. Get your Deuces R Wild too now. If you don't got it, call somebody, borrow the money, and get it. At least until paycheck day.
Right. Which hopefully is in the next 9 days, so you can get in. I mean, I think the like you mentioned the spitballing ideas back and forth. I feel like, and knowing that you're a pro wrestling person, it's just something that pro wrestling, like it's one of the most fun things that you can do as a pro wrestling fan, is that like, oh man, what if, you know, this happened, or this guy did that, or she turned this way, like that speculative, I don't know, imagination or whatever of like what could happen sometimes is more fun than what actually does happen. So it makes total sense that you and your son are playing back and forth with the ideas, because I could do the speculative writing and booking and all this stuff for hours, and I have, with people, and it's just like you get lost in, okay, well, if we do this, we can have this payoff and this comeback 4 pay-per-views later if we do it this way, and then we build to WrestleMania this, and then so it's always like that long-term, but also having short-term payoffs. How do you like? Is your son the one that's driving the like, here's what we're doing in each issue? Because it's not a regular like 22-page floppy, right? It's a 50 pages.
The first book is 40 pages. The second book is 70, I think like 77.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, like 77. I'll put it in simplest terms. My son is Paul Heyman.
Okay.
And I'm Paul Levesque.
Okay.
We put this, we create the beast and carnage, and we make everybody rise to the head of the table.
Got it. Okay.
For all my wrestling fans,
people are like, what?
Like, that's very prolific that he just said. We gotta look that one up. All my wrestling fans like, dude, you rock.
I know exactly what you're saying.
4 letters. All right.
Yep.
No, seriously, it's fun to do the spitballing, and then once you do the spitballing, put everything together. And since we watch so many movies and shows and anime and all these cartoons and all this creative stuff together, when we put the stuff together, we want you to believe like it's more of a cinematic type of thing. Like I always thought when they did the Marvel sagas, the early Marvel sagas, we had the Iron Man and the Hulk, and we were bringing all these things together to create the Avengers. I wanted something like that the anticipation continuously builds up every book.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's what we got. That's what
awesome.
We call it. Deuces R Wild. And it's funny because each title has a theme to it, and with that theme goes the rest of the book.
Okay.
which is extremely hard to do when you're trying to name. Oh man, I'm about to give away something. When you're trying to name everything the way it is,
Yeah.
it's extremely hard. But you have to stick with the theme and have the energy, the certain energy of the book going at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that on a deep level because I haven't said this out loud to anybody ever, but it's something that I did on my own campaign where every update that I send out, the like subject of the campaign isn't just a punk song title. It also is related to whatever I'm talking about in that update. So like when I sent out the update about my surveys, like, hey, fill out your surveys, like I need your information. I used the song Gimme 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 by Bad Religion as
Mm,
the title. And
okay.
so just gimme, gimme, gimme. And it was like, yeah, that's a song. And also like, give me your details. Give me the stuff.
I
And it's
like it.
just
I love
like,
it.
I don't know that any of my backers have picked up on it. No one has said anything about it. Even my collaborator, I didn't tell him I was going to do it. And it wasn't until we were on a podcast, like halfway through our campaign. And I was like, bro, I'm doing something that I didn't even tell you about with the updates. And then he went back, like looking for what I was doing and figured it out. But it's just like I like that challenge of finding the thing that's relevant and
Mhm.
just doing that extra step, because when you do, like, I'm the person that notices that. And so when people hide stuff or put Easter eggs in the background of images, or have a whole separate backstory happening, like in congruence with the main characters and their stories, I'm the reader that notices that, because I just take forever to read comics because I pour over every detail of the art. And when you've got art that looks like yours, there's such great detail to look at. And there's so much cool shit happening on the page that it's like, I don't want to just blow by this, like, oh, wow, cool, double page spread. Next, like, I want to take the time and pour over that art because it took time to make it. Like, how are you a digital worker or are you an analog worker?
Both.
Okay.
You know what's funny? I didn't start doing digital work until roughly about the end of 2019. I had
Okay.
just jumped on the digital, and the only reason I did it, here's the funniest thing. I was totally just straight analog. Like, you know what? I can draw everything all day,
Yeah.
whatever, right? So, and I've never told anybody this, so this is gonna be a first
Uh,
exclusive. Um,
just sharing
so
secrets here.
yes, I was sitting down with a friend of mine, a fellow friend of mine, and I'm drawing. I forgot what it was. I think I was drawing like Liu Kang fighting Sub Zero, or something like it was something pretty badass for it. And he has a friend of his come in, and he's drawing something. Kind of looks kind of, I don't want to say, well, yeah, it kind of look kind of crappy. And I'm looking at what he's drawing. I'm looking, we're having like a little drawing contest. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, I'm kicking your ass, right? He's like, all right, cool. You won. His friend comes in and is like, oh, I love your work. I'm like, are you serious? Like, I'm looking over, like, you love his work? She's like, yeah, what's this? Oh, you're drawing. Okay, what you're doing is pretty. It's cool. It's old school. I like it. Oh, what do you mean old school? Well, you draw with pencil and paper. Ooh, macho man. I was, yeah, I was. Oh, okay, all right. It's getting a little hot in here. I went out the next day, went straight to Best Buy.
You're like, listen, I need the artist hookup. I need the tablet. I need the pencil. I need the software. I need the headlamp. What do I need? Tell me.
Immediately, here's my card. I'm not even gonna look at the price. Here, just take it. Just take it.
I love
We're gonna
going out of
stop this
comic
right
shops.
now.
Anytime I go on vacation, I always make it a point to visit local comic shops. And, on vacation, my wife is always with me. And we'll go
Mhm.
in and I'll be picking stuff up. And she usually just like finds a chair to sit on. Comic books aren't her thing. Like, she appreciates them, but I could get lost in a comic book store for 4 hours. She
Of
would
course.
be pulling her hair out and like jumping in circles, wanting to do anything but be in a comic shop for 4 hours. And
Yeah.
so we'll get to the front and she has no idea what I've pulled. Like, some of them are dollar bin stuff. Some of them are, you know, keys or whatever, like just holes filling in my collection, and a couple trades always. And I can't help it. I have to buy trades. And so I'll get to the register and I'll like put down my stack, and she'll be like looking, and I won't have told her anything about the price of that I'm going to pay. And the last time I did it, I'm good with numbers. And so I knew that my total was going to be like $80. And so I put the stack down, and my card was already on top of the stack. And I said, listen, do me a favor. Don't tell me the title. There's the card. I know what it is. You know what it is. We're just going to run the card. Don't even give me a receipt. Just throw it away. And if I want to look at it later, I can. But I don't need to hear it out loud. And he was like, even like turn the thing around so that the title wouldn't show. The photo wouldn't show. She was like, seriously?
Like, don't, not right now.
Hey, we're on vacation, you know? Like, when's the next time we're going to be at this random shop in Detroit? I have no idea.
Bask in the glory.
Right.
Feel the ambience.
So this is front of mind because I just talked about it on my last stream with Elijah Joseph last night, which you can watch right here on YouTube. If you missed it, we talked about influences, and you've mentioned movies, pro wrestling, TV shows, reading other things. Like, where do you find are your influences on your art specifically like from comics, or is it like from all of the things? Like, what do you feel that you are influenced by as a creator?
It's really a mixture of everything. Like I'm a big pro wrestling fan. I love wrestling. I'm a wrestleaholic. I've been to the shows. I know the wrestlers, all this good stuff, right? And then when it comes to the comics, well, I grew up with comics. Frank Miller was a big major influence. I got a book called Hood Boy, and that was a black and white book, and I did it because Frank Miller is one of my favorite of all time. Like that's one. If I get to meet him on my bucket list, that's going in. I'm going in. David Finch. He was a big, major influence. Just his details. That's always why I went to drawing. Just drawing that extra detail, that extra line can change up the whole atmosphere of the character.
Yeah.
Jim Lee, of course, Todd McFarlane. The list goes on and on. My son, he has a lot of anime he's really into.
Okay.
And so we draw from those aspects and put in the ball and create what we create. And going forward, Jay Law, Jay Red, these guys are at Lesser Known Comics. Brandon, these guys are incredible. Dan Price is another one of my role models. Man, that guy is wow.
Smart dude. Like, it's insane to me. I don't know how he knows all of the things that he knows. I mean, I'm sure it's all experience based. He's been in the game a while. But nothing but love. I was actually thinking about Dan earlier today. So I love that you just brought him up.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier today. Dan Price, that Bigfoot knows karate, man.
That's such a good series.
Game changer. Made me tighten up my script real quick.
Yeah. And he just understands the business of indie comics, right? It's not just like, I'm going to make the thing and self-publish it. He's got a plan. He executes it. I stole a ton of stuff from him on how he did his campaign when I launched my first one of just well, Dan did it, so I'm going to have a live launch party. Dan had guests on. I'm going to have guests on. You know what? I'm going to have Dan on my launch party. And I told him, I'm just stealing all this stuff from you. He was like, it's not stealing. Take it. It's yours. Do whatever works for you. Yes, try all of it. And I was like,
that's just how he is, man. That man, he's real giving, like a big brother to me. Major man.
That's awesome.
Shout out
So
to Dan.
right, mad love to Dan Price. And if you don't know Bigfoot Knows Karate, he's also been on the show, and you can watch me talk with him all about his process right here on the Longbox Funk. Man, that's 2 plugs that I never do in any episode. You're just softballing them to me. I've also had Brandon DePillis on the show. I've got his poster
Yes.
back here that you can't see because the
Yes.
sun. Yeah, he's a super good dude. Like, just everybody at Lesser Known Comics. If I could just gush a little bit for a second, like, they're just so genuine. They're so freaking nice. And all of them that I've talked to, that I've had on the show, that I have reached out to, it's not just like, oh yeah, he was on my show and then I never heard from him again. Like, they're constantly sliding into my DMs. That's another thing I hate saying, but they're constantly in my messages of just like, hey man, I saw this thing and I really love what you're doing with that. Or like, hey, question for you. And it just like, it's always positive. There's no like, oh, I can't believe this happened. Blah. It's like, hey, we're growing and adapting and trying new things. And I love that. Like, that's what I want. I love that energy of just like, don't tell me I can't do that. That's so DIY. Like, that's where it all started from, was, you know, punks being told, well, no, you can't have angry, loud music talking about politics. And they were like, hell yeah, we can. Watch us.
That's
and
exactly what we're going to do.
That's a great idea. Any other limitations you want us to do? Because we can do those too. Please go on.
Do tell.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like, I think that Lesser Known Comics is doing something really cool in the indie space, and having creators like yourself, like Jay, which Incision 3 is still running.
It's out and rocking. The Kickstarter is actually going on right now, so definitely check out Incision, man.
Yep.
Woo.
And Jay's got one of those cool, like, he's got a Frank cutout figure.
Yeah.
Man, I hate that creators are doing those now because I'm obsessed with them. I don't know why, but I have a whole, they're just out of frame, but I've got like 4 of them over there of just like, I just think they're the coolest thing. And so I was a sucker and I bought that too. But yeah, shout outs and mad love to Lesser Known Comics. Keep sending awesome creators like Reece my way, because these conversations are always top tier on the channel, of just like good people making good comics. So all that to say, there's no segue here. You mentioned pro wrestling and I want to talk pro wrestling. We're just going to hard pivot.
It's all right. I put it like this. We are, Lesser Known Comics is the DX of the industry. That's why I say we are the DX. We are changing. We're cutting edge. We're out there. We have like some of the best methods of getting these books out here. We have some of the hottest creators that are coming up. We got up and coming people. We got people that have already been there. We got like, it's a solidified team.
Yeah.
Just like the wrestling. You get that stable, and you know, you can go anywhere with it. Yeah, if you got a really good stable, you can be a bloodline for about 5 years.
Yeah.
You get a strong run over that. And, you know, Mark has gathered us all together, and I gotta get my hats off to him, because had it been him, I wouldn't be in there. I wouldn't be doing this. I'd still be drawing, like I said, characters for people. And you know, a little quick segue. When I first met Mark, like I said, he had a book called Either Them or Us. Okay. Kick ass book. If you ever get an opportunity to get that book. I did the alternate cover for that. Oh man, tongue tied. I did the cover for it. So the variant cover. And I remember when I first drew it, Mark came all the way up to New York. Mark was out of town and came to New York and wanted to meet me. I was like, dude, you're in New York? Wait, you were just on the West Coast. Came over in New York. And, you know, we got to sit down and meet. You know, we talked it out and all this stuff, man. I got to meet his family. Man, all around nice guy. One of the coolest people I've ever met in my life. Big shout out to Mark, man. Mark Bernal. Like, for artists that really want to get, like, he sat down, he had an idea. And he took that idea and he became the Vince McMahon of it. And he just let it flow. He just had all the right people. He had his Stone Colds. He's got his Undertaker. He's got his Kane. He's got his Dudley Boys. He's got his Eddie Guerreros. He's got his Renegades. He's got all this great talent, and he just lets them do what as they want to do. He doesn't put restrictions on what you need to do. Don't say this. Don't do that. He doesn't do that. No, 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 no. He lets you be the creator that you were born to be, and he helps nurture that along as best way as possible.
That's
And
awesome.
that's 100% stand up guy.
I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. Like, not just letting you do your thing, but also encouraging and fostering and helping you grow and challenging you. Like, I mean, like you mentioned, he challenged you to make a comic. Like, yeah, you're making awesome art, make the thing. Like, take it the next
Yeah.
step further. And always having those challenges and those people that are willing to, like, you know, poke the bear per se of like, hey, you should, hey, you should really, that's how you grow as not
Hmm.
just a creative, but like as a person in general, is having those challenges. Cause then as you overcome it and you learn to adapt and whatever, like that's where you find that sweet spot of growth where you're like, oh, this actually does work. That's actually really fun. Like, why did I take so freaking long to do this? Yep.
I'm telling you, that's
Super
how I
real.
felt. That when funny thing, when we finished the first Deuces of Wild, and I gave it to Mark. Mark read it, gave it back to me. He's like, "Wow, that was quick." I was like, "What you mean? Usually takes a little bit longer than that." I was like, yeah, 6 months. That was a long time.
Yeah.
And he gives me this look like, "Okay, you think so?" like, like, okay, you might be on to something here. And then he's like, "Well, you got any more books?" I was like, "Oh, episodes coming. Episodes 2 is coming right up, and episode 3. Well, how many? There's 8." Okay, and Mark's one of the people. He just looks at it like, okay, well, that's what we're doing, and we just roll on with it. And now we're on This Is Wild episode 2, and everybody's loving it. Everybody's feeling it. And it's funny because we changed up a lot in the revamp edition of the book.
Yeah.
Um, I literally redrew the whole entire book
Oh,
from
wow.
beginning to end. Yeah, like we went back because um we all right. So when we first did the first book, I well with my son I wrote, I drew, and I colored and did the dialogue and all that good stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. We get all that done. We get the project out. Cool. Now we go to book 2. Book 2, we had help doing the coloring, right? We had someone that came in and like literally was like, all right, look, this is what you got to do to change up your coloring, do this, this, and this.
Mm.
Okay, it came out so great. It was like this makes the first book like crap. like if I was walking by and I saw this, I would not buy. I would buy the second issue and then worry about the first one later. And I was like, I told my son, I said, we're not going to do that too fast. He was like, no, Dad, we're not. So we got to go back and we got to rebuild it stronger, better, you know. And we came back and we did this revamp. We did, I redrew the cover, we colored it. And once we saw how the cover itself came out with the new coloring style we used, we was
Yeah.
like, oh, they're going to love this. And then we revamped the whole thing. Like there was pieces like certain little nicks here and there, like little details I wanted to add in anyway. Because one of those things, like once you finish a big project, you always go back and like, oh man, I could have did better. I could have did this. I could have did that. And then people never do it. They always sit back with regrets. With this, it was like, nope, no holds bars, no referee,
Yeah.
street match. Let's go.
I've
and
already got the
and
chair. I'm setting it on fire. I'm ready to tear this thing
the
apart.
the Bob water is on the table. We're gonna set it on fire.
I've got the
Let's
lighter
go.
fluid.
There's no stopping this train, you know.
Yeah. So the revamp really came from once you saw the colors on the second one, it was the quality needs to work up
And
to the beast. Like you've got
yes,
to matches that going forward you're not just burying, because I hear that a lot of like, yeah, well, the first issue is always kind of the worst. And it's like, well, why though? Like it shouldn't be, especially if you know the quality that you can put out in the second issue. So I love that you were intentional of like, we're taking the time, we're putting in the work. Did you like use the same layouts or thumbnails, or did you like completely just throw all of it out and redo issue one along, like using the same script?
So we got some dynamite and we blew everything up.
Perfect.
We went that we called Team Acme. It was like, listen, here's the book. We need you to go and shred it. And we went back and redrew everything. Like there were like, all right, give you an example. On one page there's a spread where Charles is getting shot at by this assassin, and like it had little bullets and stuff on it. And I'm like, I really don't like the way it looks. Like I think it could look more because it's a big spread. It's a 2-page spread.
Yeah.
So I wanted that panel to really jump out at you, to really get the idea that okay, he's running for his dear life. He's without wherever he needed to have at the time, and he's got to find something to neutralize this assassin. So I went back in, and all the little bullets I got rid of. I came back in and added shreds of like piece of the wall flying at you. Now you got bullets and wall, and you got boxes, there's a piece of cardboard. I think I even threw like a bird. I think there's a dove somewhere flying there. It's a lot of crazy stuff because I'm a big John Woo fan, so I love the doves.
Yeah.
So I always try to throw that into the book somewhere. Everybody's like, well, that should be your thing, now. It came from I stole it from John Woo, I'm not gonna lie. But I like that cinematic, like when you walk in, there's a dove flying. Okay, well, when this guy is riding his motorcycle, there's doves. When he's shooting at you, there's doves. He's got so many doves that I think the zoo's gonna call me and ask for him back.
You gotta have the disclaimer of like no real doves were harmed in the making of.
literally, and you know, we had a lot of fun doing this, man. It was an amazing feeling to go back and be able to do this.
Yeah.
And like that's what we call it, a revamp. It's a revamp, man. It wouldn't have been the quality that the fans needed, and we knew the fans needed more, so we gave you some more. We gave you the Attitude Era and then some with the spinning title.
I love that all of this is just seeped in pro wrestling terms. Like, how deep of cuts can we go? I'm trying to think of like some obscure wrestlers that I can just casually work in. But of course, when you want to do that, none of it comes to mind. I'll be done with this. I'll be eating dinner with my wife, and suddenly I'll just be like, remember that time that guy punted the baby into the audience? Remember that time? That was a real thing that happened.
Yeah, that really happened.
Eugene, that was that guy's name.
Eugene,
no,
yes.
Was it Eugene or was it I just said Snitsky? Or is that the same person?
No, Snitsky was bald headed. Eugene had hair.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Just to see, that's what. Yeah.
It's one of those, you go back as a wrestling fan, you're like, okay, so that was that Ruthless Aggression era? I think that was the Ruthless Aggression era. That's when they started doing the whole, because WWE got sued by so and so, which I'm not gonna say because YouTube might start censoring us. Yeah. And then they got the F out. There we go.
Which I mean, kudos, like whoever came up with the marketing of get the F out is just like they better have gotten a raise or some substantial bonus. It's the perfect way to spin that, like, yeah, we got sued and we lost, and so we got to rebrand. But instead of just doing it quietly, they were like, no, own it, get the F out, like just
Hey, I'm not gonna hold you. I actually still have the T-shirt. I still have that first T-shirt when they had to get the F out. They had the big WWE. Oh man, what? I had to get it. I had it.
Yeah.
I was in college. I was sporting the mess out in college, and I did not care. I dared you to say something. I was in way better shape, so it was like, yeah, go ahead, say something. I dare you. I would grab this steel chair right now.
I know how to slap my thigh. Okay, I can really kick them in. You know, I used to have the wolf pack. I was looking through pictures trying to
Ooh.
find a specific one, but I found
Mhm.
an NWO Wolfpack bucket hat that I
Ooh.
had when I was like, I don't know how old, but whenever that was happening, like junior high for me, and I was like, man, that bucket hat now, I don't know why this came back because I just don't get it. But B, I could secondhand sell that hat for like $150 now because I'm seeing
Yeah.
shirts from that time that are authentic shirts because a lot of them are like, oh, we'll just take the design and reprint it and then say it's vintage and charge $50 a shirt. But the like
Mhm.
truly authentic shirts from the late 90s are going for like 60, 70, $80 a pop. And I'm like, God, why did I get rid of them? Because I went through a time where I, stepped away from wrestling for a bit, and it wasn't them, it was me. I discovered girls, and they took my attention, and so suddenly I didn't have time to watch wrestling, and I was like, yeah, I don't have wrestling shirts, and so I got rid of like all of them. I am so mad at like 15-year-old me for doing that because I had some badass Sting shirts and now I've rebought a bunch of them, not for the
Mm.
$60, but yeah, I like things like that always come back around.
Mhm.
My wife is like, well, I have all of my stuff. I'm like, babe, I don't still have my like play kitchen from when I was 3. Okay. Like, I don't know why you have that still, but she does. And I love her dearly.
Yeah, there you go. I was like, you better save yourself. 'Cause when this camera
Always.
goes off, I cannot be held responsible.
I'm totally no, it was all Reese. Yeah, he forced me into that conversation, babe. It's
Papa
always
Shango.
it's, it's always like a double-edged sword, and by that that's not the right thing. But I never know if she can actually hear me when I'm doing the show or not. And so I'll come out sometimes after I do something like that, and I'll come out and she'll just be sitting on the kitchen, and it's one of two things. One, she's sitting there on her phone, just whatever, no big deal. Or the other is
Like you know what happened, right?
if it's option B, I usually just turn around and come back in here, shut the door. Like, no, nope. She'll she'll
Mm-mm.
she'll turn on Supernatural and see Jensen Ackles and she'll feel better. Like it'll be okay. That's
Oh
what she
man.
needs. And I get that. And I understand. Like he's a good looking
Yeah.
dude. I'm not upset about it, but I'm comfortable in saying, no, yeah, I get it. He's attractive. That's fine.
Whatever makes you feel better, babe.
Thank you. Thank you. Speaking of attractive, that's not the right way to segue back to pro wrestling. We can't do that. I do. One of the features, this is kind of related, but not really. I'm making it work. I'm forcing this round peg into the square hole. Your main character in Deuces R Wild has the 3 like white bangs that are
Yes.
separate from the rest of his hair.
Yes.
That
Yes.
feels very like manga anime. And I know you said your son watches a lot of anime. Is like, did that design come from him and anime influence, or is that just something that you were like, that looks cool?
Um, he chose the idea. It was originally gonna be just a white streak, like
Okay.
look like like a good luck streak. And then I was like, it doesn't fit the character. If you see the first drawings, and like the guy just has an afro and like a little streak, and we were gonna call the book Afro Summer.
Okay.
It went from Afro Summer to Deuces of Wild, and when we changed it to Deuces of Wild, he got the bang. I was like, now that looks more like some Deuces of Wild crazy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's
that's
edgier.
how
Yeah.
yeah, it was like I don't know, it just spoke rebellion because my son has braids. He usually has a fro, but when he's out in public stuff, he does like the braids. He's always got one piece of hair that's hanging out or something like that. Like, yeah, that works. Okay, we're gonna do that.
Yeah. That's awesome. So
Yeah,
what are you excited about with this second issue? Like is this a different experience for you running this Kickstarter versus creating that first issue?
Yes. There was a lot of pressure on the first issue, and I believe after we got hit that first hurdle and got over it and did this revamp, I think we're more well on track now than we were in the first one. The first one was kind of like, okay, we did this in 6 months. We're gonna put it out there, maybe one person to buy it, and then it blew up.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, well, that was unexpected. Like I was to be honest with you, I thought like one person was gonna buy it. I thought, my grandmother. My grandmother got like a book, and I was like, "Yay, Granny! Thank you."
Thank you. I
And
love you.
my grandmother Theope, shout out to her because she's a major inspiration. Her and my great grandmother Addie Green, my grandmothers were like a major focus point when I was growing up, and they influenced
Mm.
me a lot. And they got me into wrestling because they would always catch me and
Just hitting you with elbows from the top rope. Yeah.
God, I had a lot of ADHD when I was young. That was the only way to calm me down.
Yeah.
But no,
When I
no,
was
seriously though.
younger too.
Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But no, my grandmothers they really helped me put this stuff together and put these ideas together, and
Yeah.
I thank them a whole lot. But yeah, that was the idea. We thought if we're gonna revamp it, we're gonna make it better for everyone. So there was not as much pressure to do the second book because by the
Mm.
time we finish the second book, we're now getting the Kickstarter out. We're already almost done with the third book.
Okay.
Yeah, so like right now, like we're in the driver's seat. We're in the groove right now. I can't
Yeah.
wait for everybody to read this the second edition, and it's gonna blow your mind. Period. Yeah, bar none. If you want something that's gonna put you on the edge of your seat, I remember when I gave someone the proofread, one of my proofreaders, and he literally said, "Dude, I could read this in one setting." I got up, ate food, came back, and read it again.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah,
'Cause,
that's the best kind of feedback to get because like you've got a sticky story that's gonna get in somebody's head and like not want to let go and just command more of their attention.
Mhm. And I
That's the
think
job.
with this book, yeah, awesome, man. It's I think with Deuces R Wild, what really draws people in is that the fact that our villains are not your average villains.
Mm.
Like spanning back to wrestling, wrestling always helps you create um your villains, your heels, and then your faces. You got heels and faces, right?
Yep.
Okay, baby faces. Baby faces are usually the good guy. Heels are bad guys for those who don't know wrestling. But I always love when they create a massive heel, like the Roman Reigns. When Roman was, when I'm talking about before they had people in the stands, 2020 Roman Reigns was a badass.
Yeah.
That like he was on his top of the game. He was the top heel. That was some of the best wrestling ever. Since the Attitude Era. So me and my son, we sit down, we create these insane villains, and he has to go against these villains.
Mm.
And the villains is what like it's just one part of the show that draws you in, which is like wrestling. The villain
Yep.
always draws you in, and then you have that baby face that comes in. You're like, oh wow, is he gonna be able to beat this guy? Can he get the championship? Who's gonna defeat this guy that's on top?
Yeah.
That's where the wild part of the Deuces of Wild comes in.
Okay.
If you can get your fans to love or hate the character that they're reading, you're on to something. Someone
Yeah.
told me that a long time ago, and I was like, okay. And I told my son that I said, "Do you know what that means?" He's like, "No, that sounds like some Jedi shit." Like, Dad, I don't know what that means, but okay, we're gonna roll with it, and we stuck with it, and so far it's working.
Yeah, when we go to a lot of conventions or did when we had a lot more in the area and had a lot more expendable money and our house didn't need new roof. It's fine. It's really fine. But we went to a convention. the first time I met Ricky Steamboat, I met Ric Flair, and we met Shane Douglas, and my wife was talking to him, and she was like, I hated your freaking guts. I never liked you. And he was like, thank you. And she was like, what do you mean, thank you? And he was like, that means I did my job well. Like, if you hated me and you remember hating me, that means I was really good at doing my job as a heel. And she was like, oh, good for you. And it
Boom
was
goes the dynamite.
Yeah, it was one of those moments where it's like, oh, he said the quiet part out loud. Like, now when we're watching, and because that was over a decade ago at this point, but now when we watch and she's like, I really don't like them, and I guess that means they're doing their job. Like, it always comes back to Shane Douglas saying that, because like, there are certain people that I love to hate them, and there's people that it's not even like me choosing to. I mean, I love Seth Rollins. Like, I think he's the best at the showmanship and the spectacle of pro wrestling. He can talk on the mic. He can perform in the ring. He's got the charisma. He's got the stupid long wardrobe, like all the things, right? He's got the perfectly trimmed beard, all of the things he's got going for him. And when he's leaning into the heel, she suddenly is like, I don't like him. I'm like, yeah, it's because he's good. He's just that, like, he's so good. I'm choosing to like him as a heel. People like MJF. I don't know if you watch AEW too.
Yes. MJF is a beast.
People like MJF, right? Where it's just the gut feeling of like, oh, I hate your guts, because everything you do, you're smarmy and you're such a pretentious prick. Like, all of those things, that's the subconscious like heel. He's very good at his job.
Yes.
Because it's so easy to boo him and just hate him. And it's not even like a choice. Like, there's always going to be the cheap heat of a heel telling a crowd to shut up and, cheering whoever their sports team's rival is. People do that in Cincinnati all the time. Like, oh, I just came from Pittsburgh, and people are like, boo. And he's like, yeah, sure was a better city than this crap hole. Like, just, that's cheap heat stuff, but I love to see it. And it's like, oh, okay. All right. I appreciate your work, sir. But when they don't even have to do that and they just like walk out and you're like, oh, I don't like you. That's MJF for me. And then he leans into it.
Yeah, well, MJF reminds me. Well, he's the new nowadays Chris Jericho. I'm talking about the Y2J Chris Jericho, when he was that arrogant and you just really hated him.
Yep.
But you love to see him. You're like, you know what? Yeah. You know what? Once you heard that, you was like, oh, here we go. And once you saw this right here, you knew Y2J was coming. Break the walls down, and that was it. That was it, man. And he had that type of arrogance. And yeah, man. Big shout out to MJF for winning the title the other day too. He won the title the other night. So yeah, big shout out to him. I watch a little AEW from time to time. They have a great program as well. They got my guy John Moxley, Kenny Omega, just to name a few. I really love. Yes. Hangman Page. Yeah.
Swerve. Yeah. Their roster is insanely stacked.
I like AEW because they did something that no one else has done in recent years. They challenged WWE to step it back up. WWE got real complacent for a long time.
Yep.
To as I call stale spaghetti. That's what I call it, stale spaghetti. like you look at it, you're like, it's noodles and sauce. That's it. No Parmesan, no salt, no pepper. no season whatsoever. No, not the meat. The meat even looked dry. Still spaghetti. And then AEW came in. It's like, well, we're gonna add Parmesan to it. Okay, I'm mixing a little bit. It looks different. and then we're gonna put some salt and pepper, and then we're gonna have the young guns, and then we're gonna bring all these new talents in, and then we're gonna bring back the Hardys. Then we're gonna bring this guy. You might know him, his Dusty son, Cody Rhodes. We're gonna bring him up and let him do his thing. Shout out to
Mhm.
Cody Rhodes who went to AEW and just turned the house out.
Oh, dude, he was
I was
taking
so
bumps
sad.
that he didn't need to. Like
Yeah,
he just was putting over everybody else. And it like constantly taking the pin, constantly, going through the table, taking the bump, like what yeah, he was willing to
he
do
put,
all of it.
but it paid off. Look where he's at now. That man came when he came home as a reigning king of WWE.
Yeah.
That first night he came back, I was goosebumps. I
Yeah.
get goosebumps now thinking
I
about
was
it.
just
That
saying,
first
I'm
night he
getting
came
them right now.
back. Like when
Yeah.
you heard that music and you saw the smoke, da, 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 and he's rising out of the smoke. I'm like, yeah, he came home like a conquering king. He's like, I did it. You guys literally told me, I wasn't gonna do it. And I'm Dusty's son. Let me go and take the Stardust role. And I loved why he did in his first match back. He's like, he told Hunter, he's like, listen, I don't want to do any mention of Stardust. We're never gonna do that ever again. What's the first thing he do as soon as he gets in the ring? The spin over and he does a this. I'm like, this
Yeah.
son of a gun right here.
Yeah, it
Cody,
was
man.
like, did the one thing as a callback of like, hey, last time you saw me, I did this, and then just left it. And like, yeah,
Yes.
like he could read the phone book and I would get emotional. Like he's so good at the like, I don't know, the underdog promos of
Yes.
just it like we're big Cody Rhodes house over here. This we're big fans. As
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the rest of the freaking country. Like everybody loves Cody Rhodes.
And he was smart to do what he did. When he dropped the title at WrestleMania to John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, criticize him for that, but I'm like, well, Cody's smart. Cody's like, if you hold it too long, it's gonna make you become a villain.
Yep.
So I did 1 year, like I did the whole Triple H. This is the preseason for the whole 1 year. All right, cool. John's back. Let John get his run because John wanted to be a heel,
Yep.
which eh, John Cena's heel wasn't that good. I'm called Space. I couldn't see it. Like he tried. I give it to John. You tried your best.
He
Hey, it's your last run. Do what you want.
yeah. Yeah,
But
that's
that match
how
against
I
you,
feel about it. Like it wasn't my favorite thing that he's ever done. And you
mhm,
could tell that there were times that he was like, this is not fun. Like I thought this was going to be more fun than it is. But he deserves to do whatever the hell he wants to. Like
yeah,
let him do whatever. He if anybody in the business has earned it, it's John Cena because he shows up.
yeah,
Like I will forever. He's another one, man. If I come across any reel of him meeting with fans or whatever, I am guaranteed to be crying by the end of that reel. Like the way
yeah,
that he treats his fans and people, just people, like not even his fans, anybody that's out there, not to mention all the stuff he does with Make a Wish and all of the fundraising that he does. Like it's mind boggling
remarkable.
how much he has done outside of the ring, outside of arenas to just bring a good energy to what pro wrestling is doing. And it just like talk about inspirational, man.
Yeah, yeah. That I'm getting goosebumps as you say that. I'm like, wow, the goosebumps popping up because I've met John Cena twice. He was going into Madison Square Garden. I got to meet him then. Like I was on the outside, and
Yeah.
like he comes through with the security and like the SUVs and stuff. I'm like, wonder who that is. 'Cause I was thinking it was someone else, and then all of a sudden John just pops out. I was like, "Hey, John!" He does this and keeps on going. Even this is during the hill run. This is what really
Yeah.
tripped me. It's during the
Okay.
hill, so you still turn around and say what up to the fans, but you like he did like this, and, like kind of like a, but you, like it's always funny because when you go to Madison Square Garden, you're outside the garden, you have where all the fans can wait at, and we
Mhm.
see all the wrestlers coming in. So you
Okay.
get to see the Paul Heymans and all that good stuff. The big guys, the top stars, they have their own SUVs. So they come in on the other side where like the buses are and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So we see John come in. John goes to the SUV, and the SUV goes down the ramp. So when he gets out, I hear all the fans like, "Hey, John, we can't see you," and like he just does a salute, like, "Yeah."
Yeah. I got it. Yeah, I'm invisible.
I'm like, you know what? I want them to do a joke, a running joke in Peacemaker. A shout out to Peacemaker. Peacemaker season 2, out of this world. I like it,
See, we're
and
waiting
I'm
till
not.
the whole thing is out so we can just sit and binge the entire thing in a weekend.
What I usually do, I'll watch the whole first season, and then I'll go ahead. By the time the second episode or third episode's out, I'm done with the first season, so I can jump back into it. Like, okay, I'm back here. And the first episode I've seen of second season is so kick ass. I'm like, okay, John, when I see you again, I'm gonna ask you, why haven't you put this one liner in? James Gunn put this one liner in. When they come in, Peacemaker, what are you doing? I don't know. We can't see you. I just want you to throw like look like one of those little jokes in there. Like have him doing something stupid. Like, don't you guys see that? No, we can't see you.
Yeah.
I just want somebody to do it one time. Just a callback. Just a little
Yeah.
something for the fans, a little funny something. You
Yeah.
know.
There are
I mean,
plenty of ways that you could do it where they legitimately can't see him, but he thinks that they can if he's under surveillance or something and they're supposed to be looking him on
yeah.
camera. And he's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? We can't see you." Like, just
Perfect.
it's right there. I mean, I get it. Like maybe it does get tiring after 25 years or whatever, but also like it's so tongue in cheek anyway that
Hmm.
like come on, man. Yeah, the whole first season, that's all we were waiting for was some sort of like like do
Just
it to
one.
someone else. Just a little like I don't need the whole thing. I don't need the whole shtick. Just give me like 2% and just
Just a
make
little
those
bit.
characters happy. Because back to Jensen Ackles, like every show that he's in, there are nods to Supernatural because
Yep.
like that's what put him on the map, and people know him and love him for that. I still haven't watched it, but because I'm always in the room and my wife is watching whatever Jensen Ackles has recently been in, she's telling me all the things like, see that car right there? That's the car from Supernatural. Oh, do you see that joke right there? That's a Dean joke. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad you're happy, babe. Give me that,
Well,
John Cena. That's what I'm saying.
exactly. Exactly. Oh, shout out to the boys. The boys is another good show you guys need to
Yeah.
watch. I can't wait for this next season. Oh, you wish your wife is gonna love
Oh yeah.
because
Yeah.
they reunite. Yeah, the
Well,
brothers reunite in
yeah,
this new season.
it's the same. I don't know if it's the same writers or the same producers. It's a bunch
Hmm.
of the same behind the scenes people from Supernatural that work on the boys, and they've slowly
Yep.
been getting more of the Supernatural people. And this final season is going to be like a whole freaking reunion of like everybody together. Yeah, she's already told me all of the things about it. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I still like the show, so that's fine.
Do,
I'll
do
still watch.
you see me on the edge of my seat? Like, really? Tell me more.
Yeah, am I asking you for this information, babe? I'm not. But
Like,
I
okay.
I
Well,
offer up.
okay. Hmm.
Yeah, we go
As
to
as I
any
show my Wu
superhero.
Tang beard. Yeah, hmm.
I mean, I guess I understand because we see superhero movies and then leaving, she's like, "So what did you think?" And I'm like, I wasn't going to say it, but like this one thing that they did irks me because it's not even true to the character. You know what I mean? Like in Action Comics 137, and I go on this tirade the entire drive home, and she's like, I just wanted to know if you liked it or not. So I get it. Like, it's a give and take. I let her tell me about Knuckles, and I just gush over pro wrestling and stuff too. So it's fine. It's fine.
That's me when it's me, my son, and my brothers get together, and we're all online talking together and stuff. And me and my son start talking shop. Like we watched Superman this summer, right?
Mm.
So we come back from Superman and we're discussing it and stuff. And like I'm going in because I've grown up with the death of Superman and all these other
Yeah.
things, Smallvilles and the Lois and Clark, all these different TV shows. And so I'm comparing notes to what it is to the James Gunn effect that they have, right?
Yeah.
My brother's like, well, did you like the movie? Well, let me break it down to you, brother, since you asked.
Since
I'm
you
like, oh,
asked.
well. And my son just sitting there looking at me like, dude, yeah, it was a yes or no question. Either I did or I didn't. He did not ask for a whole breakdown, scene to scene, the line by line. No, yes, that all you had to do is say, yes, I liked it, no, I didn't. This is
Yeah.
2 hours later.
Yeah, the drive from our house to the theater that we go to with the super nice, cushy Dolby surround sound and all the stuff is like a 35-minute drive. And we make it for specific movies. And so I will fill that entire ride home with notes. And then we get home and we're like walking into the house and she's like, okay, but did you like it or not? I'm like, oh,
But
I
you still
didn't.
never answered the question.
Oh, fine.
That's me at the end. Okay.
It's like, fine. Yes, I liked it. Is that what you needed from me?
That's sufficient.
Yeah. Yep, that's what I get.
Oh, man.
So I officially don't have any more notes, but there's two more things I want to do. The first is super easy. I'm going to take a screenshot and then use that as the YouTube thumbnail, mainly because it makes it my life easier. And also we get to pose and have some fun. So let me get this. 3, 2, 1. All right. And then the other thing is what I warned you about before he came live. I love doing this show because I love talking to indie creators that have all different experiences, walks of life, different backgrounds, different perspectives. And yet we all love these things we call comic books. And so as part of recognizing that diversity and whatever, I don't use DEI terminology. I don't care. We're all different and we're all the same. And that's where I'm at with just how I see things. So I like to just open the floor up to everybody that comes on to be able to share anything you want people to hear. It could be a sales pitch for Deuces R Wild 2, which is running on Kickstarter right now. Or it could be like why you like Roman Reigns more than Seth Rollins. Content doesn't matter to me. I just want you to have some space to share whatever it is that you want people to hear directly from you. And with that, I'm going to stop talking. So the floor is yours, my friend.
All right. So to all friends and fans that have seen this show today that joined us on the show, thank you so much for coming out here and joining us. Please go check my Kickstarter out. This is the Wild and Revamp that's on Kickstarter right now. We got 8 days, 9 days left. Now, my word of advice to everyone, don't give up on your dreams. I never thought this would be possible because people never let me see that side of me until I got just a little bit of encouragement. So this is my encouragement to you. Wherever your dream is, you go out there and you go get it. Yes, it's going to be hard. Not every day is going to be a sunshiny day. But guess what? When you get to the end of that and you build and see where you come from and where you've been at, it's going to be magnificent. Don't give up. People are going to tell you every day, it ain't possible. It doesn't matter what they think. All that matters is you get up, put one foot in front of the other. You go from there, the world is yours.
Boom. I love it.
Yeet, yeet.
I completely agree. And the chat is also very happy with what we have accomplished in this. So I'm not going to try and top it. I'm not going to be a Midwesterner and Dragon for days. I'm going to say thank you for coming on. I had a blast. Hang tight. I got some logistics for you.
Pleasure, Chris.
For everybody else, thanks for sounding off in the chat. It makes this more enjoyable and more interactive and more fun and helps build this thing that we're trying to do in the indie comic space, which is just lift each other up. So what's a good podcast without a good tagline? This one's mine. Go do what's good for you, punks, and read some indie comics because we are out of here.